This lecture we are going to discuss about the series resonance. So what is this series resonance? If I draw a simple circuit of series RLC, that is a resistor with an inductor and a capacitor. We have already done this and we have studied all these phasor diagrams in the earlier lecture. So this is an AC source connected to this RLC. My R, this is L and this is C. If I take this voltage source equal to V and the current flowing through this is I, then I will name here different voltages as they are connected in series. So I will name this as VR, this is VL, and this one is VC. We have already studied these concepts that definitely in the series the voltages will be added to the source voltage. So I can say here that my source voltage V must be equal to VR plus VL plus VC. Now, what is this resonance? This is important to understand. This resonance is always occurring where there is a presence of this capacitor and inductor, or we can say that resonance occurs in any circuit that has some energy storage elements. So these energy storage elements in our circuit, you can see here we have this inductor and a capacitor, both stores the energies, and this is what we have studied earlier also when we have taken only the inductor and the capacitor case across an AC source. We have seen there the average power was coming equal to 0 because in one cycle it is storing the energy and in the other cycle they are just delivering the energy. So it means for occurrence of this resonance we need storage energy elements. So I will write here for occurrence of energy we need two energy storage elements. Two energy storage elements. And in our case we have this inductor and the capacitor. Now this circuit is said to be in resonance when source voltage and source current are in phase. Now what does this mean? I will write here occurrence will be there when the source voltage, it means this voltage V, source voltage, and source current, this I, are in phase. Are in phase. But we have studied in earlier lectures that whenever there is an inductor and a capacitor, definitely a phase change will be there. In the case of a pure capacitor, we have seen that there is a 90-degree phase shift, or simply the current will lead the voltage by 90 degree, whereas in the case of pure inductor we have seen the current lags the voltage by the 90 degree. So definitely when we are adding all these three in series, their combination will result in some phase. So what we want resonance, and that says that at resonance what is going to happen, our source voltage and source current are in phase. It means definitely the impact of this inductor and the capacitor must be cancelled out. How that will be cancelled out? If I say that this inductor is providing me the impedance XL and this capacitor is providing me the impedance XC, then I want this XL equal to XC. So definitely I will take a frequency at which XL will be equal to XC, and that frequency is called as resonant frequency. This resonant frequency tells us that the rate at which energy transformation is done between the capacitor and inductor. Now what does this mean? If I say that this inductor is there, this inductor is also storage element, this capacitor is also storage element, definitely there will be exchange of energy between this inductor and the capacitor. So at resonant frequency, at a particular frequency, the rate at which this energy transformation will be there between this capacitor and the inductor, it is called as the resonant frequency. So this is important. The resonant frequency indicates indicates the rate at which energy transformation is done between capacitor and inductor, or simply inductor and capacitor. तो उस रेट, जिस रेट पे ये होगी ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन, डेफिनेटली हर टाइम जो है वो एनर्जी ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन होती रहेगी, बट जो रेट होगा वो रेट इंडिकेट किया जाता है रेजोनेंट फ्रीक्वेंसी के द्वारा. सो इफ आई टेक दिस फेजर डायग्राम्स, हमने पढ़े थे फेजर डायग्राम्स, सभी ने देखे थे कि कैसे इंडक्टर के केस में जो है फेजर डायग्राम हमारा पॉजिटिव तरफ रहता है और कैपेसिटर की तरफ जो है वो नेगेटिव तरफ रहता है, या ये कहें कि ऊपर की तरफ और नीचे की तरफ रहता है. सो इस केस में जब हम देखेंगे यहाँ पर हम अपने सर्किट में, तो हम यहाँ पे अगर मैं फेजर डायग्राम फिर से बना दूँ आपके लिए. सो इफ आई के टेक दिस केस ऑफ माई आई will take this is my VR. So definitely VL will be in this direction. This is VL and VC will be in this direction. So now I have taken the case where I want my XL to be equal to XC, as the same current is flowing through this resistor, inductor and capacitor. And definitely can I say I into XL and I into XC will also be equal if XL is equal to XC. So can I say from here that I in this VL is nothing but equal to I into XL, and this VC is nothing but equal to I into XC. If I is same and XL is equal to XC, can I say this must be equal to this? It means in a phasor diagram, if I see the resultant, then can I say my resultant will be in the same direction as that of the current, resistor and the voltage. Here VR will be equal to V, because you have subtracted this voltages. VL is now equal to VC. VL is positive, ये VL आपकी positive है for example, then VC is negative, and if these two are equal, definitely they will result into zero value. So it means whatever the output is there across these two is zero. If this voltage is zero, then definitely if I see here, if these two voltages are equal to zero, then definitely our V will be equal to VR. So this is what we have obtained, that at resonance our VR will be equal to V, or in the other terms, if I say now the voltage and current are in phase. In phase means there is no phase difference between these two. So this is what we have obtained. Also we can write here, in this case VL is equal to VC, or simply you can write here I is equal to XL is equal to I into XC, or in the other way you can write here that XL is equal to XC. This is the condition for our resonance in series, right? We are discussing only the series resonance. In the series resonance, XL must be equal to XC. Now, what is the resonant frequency? Let's try to find that resonant frequency. The resonant frequency means the frequency at which this XL will be equal to XC. This is what we have to find. So we will simply convert this XL as omega L, and XC we all know it is equal to 1 by omega C. You can rewrite it or by simply taking omega on one side. By if I write here omega square, it will be equal to 1 by LC, and from here you can say that omega, if I simply denote it with the resonant frequency, so I will write here omega naught, it is equal to 1 by root of LC. And if I convert it in the frequency, then can I say that 2 pi f naught is equal to 1 by root of LC, and this thing implies our f naught is equal to 1 by 2 pi root of LC. This is my resonant frequency. It means this is the frequency at which my signal will be received in the case of my radio. Now, what is going to happen if I see a radio? Two speakers are there, and there is on the top there is a knob. This is that knob. By just rotating this knob, we can adjust to different frequencies. So what is actually happening? Let's see. If we look at this resonant frequency concept, it is simply saying that it is equal to 1 by 2 pi root of L and C. Now 2 pi is constant, L and C are variable. But in most of the circuits, we only change this capacitance value. Inductor is kept constant. Why kept constant? Because this inductor consists of a coil which is having some number of turns, and there is some you can say this coil turn is having some radius or the diameter. So it is not feasible to change this number of the turns either, or change the you can say this radius of this circle. If I see from this side, I will find it like this. So this is what the radius I am talking about. So it is not feasible in most of the cases. But if you look at this capacitor consists, if I take a parallel plate capacitor, that capacitor is C is equal to epsilon naught A by D. So this A is the area of these plates. This is the area. If I take from the other side, or I draw this diagram in a different way, then you will see that this will be my parallel plate capacitor. So this is the area that I'm talking about, area of the cross section. So this is that area, and D is the distance between these two plates. So now just to change the capacitance, if I say that if I change only the D, it is easy for me to separate or to change this distance, right? So अगर मैं इस D को change कर देता हूँ, definitely the capacitance will change. If the capacitance value will change, although the inductor value is fixed, can I say my frequency will also change? So this is what is there in the case of radio. We have a simple knob. By changing the knob, we are simply changing the distance between these two plates and changing the value of the capacitance. And we are achieving different frequencies. That's why we are able to hear different musics or different channels, right? Is it clear to you all? What is this resonant frequency? Okay. Now, next, on the basis of this, I'm going to find few values. If I take the concept of my impedance in a series RLC circuit, impedance Z, if I assume, then we know that in a series RLC circuit, this Z is equal to R plus J of XL minus XC. This is the value of the impedance because they all are three connected in series. We have earlier obtained this expression where I said that Z is equal to, series में है तीनों impedances add होंगी, that is R plus, what is the impedance of this? It is XL, and because it is having a phase shift in which here if I talk about the voltage leads the current, because I am talking here about this voltage. V is equal to VR plus VL plus VC. So it can be written as, I have written over there, अगर मैं इसी बात को फिर से लिखूं, it is I into Z, it is equal to I into R with angle 0 plus I into XL with angle of 90 degree and plus I into XC with angle of minus 90 degree. Because I'm talking here about in terms of the voltages. So when I talk in terms of voltages, the voltage will lead your current in the case of inductor by 90 degree, whereas in the case of capacitor, the voltage will lag your current by angle 90 degree. So due to that lagging, we introduce here minus sign. So by simply introducing the concept of J for every phase shift of 90 degree, if it is in the positive side or the phase shift is in the anti-clockwise, we will simply say it is plus J of XL. If it is in the negative side, we will simply say it is minus J of XC. So from here, I have obtained this expression, that is Z is equal to R plus J of XL minus XC. That is what I have used here, right? So just if you didn't get it still, you just go back to that video and see that how we have obtained the series RLC. Okay. So now over here, if I see that at resonance, what is going to happen? All I'm going to find is at resonance. So at resonance, I said that my XL will be equal to XC. It means if I look at this impedance Z, is it equal to only the R? And this is the minimum value of this impedance, because definitely at other frequency or at non-resonant frequency, the XL will not be equal to XC, and definitely this will have some value. Or if I take this Z, it will be equal to under the root of, if I take only the magnitude, it will be under the root of R square plus XL minus XC whole square. So this XL minus XC will be non-zero at some other frequency. Due to that, this Z will be greater than the value of R, or I can say here that at resonance, your Z will be a minimum value equal to R. Now, if I talk about this current, I that is flowing, I current. Now, what is the value of I in terms of V and Z? It is simply V by Z. But at resonance, what is going to happen? V is same. There is no change in V, but you said at resonance, Z will get a minimum value equal to R. So can I say at resonance, I will have the maximum value, because at Z is at the denominator. So I will have the maximum value that is equal to V by Z minimum. or is simply equal to V by R. So you will find the current is maximum from the circuit obtained from the circuit at the resonance. Is it clear? Now, one more thing. Yes. So now one more thing is there, that is, if I talk about the voltage. So this source voltage, okay, I will write it as simple V because I have used V. So next is the voltage, or simply the source voltage. So if I talk about this source voltage at resonance will be equal to, just look here, if the impedances provided by these two will be equal to 0, can I say the voltage provided by these two will be also equal to 0? Or simply I can say here that this VL plus VC at this point will be equal to 0. Due to that, our source voltage V will be equal to VR. So one more thing we can derive from here, that our source voltage V will be equal to VR. V will be equal to VR. Now, next one more important is, that is the power factor. Can anybody tell me what is power factor? What is power factor? It is cos of theta, or theta is nothing but the phase difference. So exactly at resonance, the power factor will be equal to 1. Why it will be equal to 1? Because here the theta value is equal to 0 degree. Because at resonance we have obtained through our phasor diagram also we have studied it, that at resonance there will be phase shift of only 0 degree, or they are in phase, the current and the voltage. It means if we talk about cos 0 degree, it is nothing but equal to 1. So that's why the power factor value will come out to be equal to 1 at resonance. Right? In some of the books, you will find few other things related to the voltage and the current. So I will also discuss that, although that is not in the part of your syllabus, but I want to discuss the voltages across this capacitor and the inductor. So if these things are clear to you, I will move further.
Yes.
Right. Yes, there are few graphs related to this. We will discuss these graphs later. First, I will take the case of the voltage across this capacitor. Right. So next, I will take the voltage across the capacitor. Voltage across capacitor. Now we know the impedance provided by this capacitor is Xc, which is equal to 1 by 2 pi F into C. That is nothing but 1 by omega C. Right? And the voltage across this capacitor, if I draw this diagram once again for you, we have here a resistor, then we have inductor and this capacitor. Three things are there. So this is the voltage across this capacitor VC, the current is I, and the voltage is V, R, L, and C. Now I'm talking only about this voltage here, so this concept should be clear to you कि हम किसके बारे में बात कर रहे हैं यहाँ पे, सिर्फ voltage के बारे में. So if I talk about this voltage across capacitor which is VC, can I write it is equal to I, that is the current flowing through it, into the impedance XC, right? And XC is nothing but 1 by 2 pi FC. So I'm going to take here few cases of the voltages, now a few cases of the frequency, and I will find the value of the voltage at that point, right? So I will draw a graph here between the frequency and the voltage. So first I will start from 0 frequency, F equal to 0. This is that point. Let this be the voltage VC. So exactly at F equal to 0, can you tell me what is the value of your XC? I will say that XC will be equal to definitely infinity. If XC is infinity, then what will be the value of Z? I will write a value of Z also. Z is equal to R plus, or simply under the root of R square plus XL minus XC whole square. This is what my Z is. So definitely if XC is infinity, then the value of the z will be also equal to infinity. If I take the case of xl, then xl is at f equal to 0 will be definitely equal to 0. तो उसका कोई impact नहीं है, right? So if I want my current I, then can you tell me what will the value of I? If I look here, as I said, the impedance provided by this circuit in my capacitor is equal to infinity. It means it is open circuit. Can I say that this circuit will be now open circuit? Because impedance provided by is very large. It means no current. I value is equal to 0. No current will flow. So I will write here means I is equal to 0 because in an open circuit current can't flow. And what is the value of my VC? If no current is flowing through it, definitely VR will be equal to 0 because VR is equal to I into R. Also VL will be equal to 0. अगर VL भी 0 होगा, इट मीन सारे के सारी जो वोल्टेज V है आपकी, दैट विल बी देयर अक्रॉस दिस कैपेसिटर, विच इज व्हाट वी हैव स्टडीड, किसकी चार्जिंग होती है। चार्जिंग होने के कारण क्या होगा, सारी वोल्टेज जो V की थी वो यहाँ पर डेवलप हो जाएगी, एंड फ्रॉम हियर कैन आई से दैट माई VC इज इक्वल टू V. VC will be equal to V. It means at zero frequency, when it is having the infinite impedance, our capacitor voltage will be equal to V. It means if I take a point over here, this point of V, this is my starting point for the capacitor voltage. Now let's try to increase this frequency. So if I increase this frequency, as frequency is increased, I am not increasing it much, but थोड़ी सी frequency आपने increase की, right? Then what is going to happen? Your XC value will increase or decrease. Definitely when you will have a finite value greater than 0 value, this XC, which is equal to 1 by 2 pi f of C, will get a finite value, or I will say with comparison to the infinity, this XC value will decrease. Now if XC value will decrease, what is going to happen to XL? As earlier the XL value was 0 at 0 frequency, definitely at a frequency greater than 0 the XL value will also increase, because now it is having again greater than 0, क्योंकि 2 pi f L अगर हम काउंट करेंगे तो f की वैल्यू नॉन जीरो होगी, तो डेफिनेटली XL भी नॉन जीरो आएगा. So XL is also increasing. Now if I calculate the value of x, अगर मैं x की वैल्यू कैलकुलेट करूं, then can I say that x, which is equal to magnitude of XL minus XC, right? The combined impedance of this is what we can say here, that this is equal to x square, because it is squared over here. So x will be equal to magnitude of XL minus XC, and now due to the increase in the value of XL but decrease in the value of XC, the overall value will increase or decrease. In comparison to f equal to 0 value, this value will decrease, because in this case x is equal to XL minus XC. XC was infinity and XL was 0. It means x in this case was equal to infinity. But now due to the finite value in the XC and XL has also increased, definitely there will be difference. So these two values will be subtracted, and you will find here that x value will be decreasing, क्योंकि इंफिनिटी से जब वो कम वैल्यू पे आ जाएगा वो डिक्रीज कर जाएगा. नाउ इफ x value is decreased, can I say my z value will also decrease, because z is nothing but under root of r square plus x square with this formula. So it means z value will also decrease. Now with the decrease in the z value, can I say my I value will increase, because I is nothing but equal to v by z. As z has decreased, can I say that I will increase? Definitely I will increase. Due to the increase in the I, what will the value of my voltage across the capacitor? I की वैल्यू इंक्रीज करने से अगर मैं वोल्टेज की वैल्यू देखूं, तो वोल्टेज की वैल्यू मेरी इंक्रीज करेगी या डिक्रीज करेगी? Exactly, the value of the voltage will increase, because if we see here that VC is nothing but I into XC. Although the value of XC has decreased from infinity to down, but this value of I has also increased. It means the value of VC will increase, and due to this increase we will find a particular point where this value increases to a maximum value. I will name that frequency as FC value. So if I take this to my f axis, I will find here a frequency FC. This FC is the cutoff frequency for the capacitor where it is having the maximum amplitude. You will find here now the capacitor has obtained a voltage greater than my source voltage. Look at this. This was my source voltage, but now this has increased. And after that value, if I further increase, or if I take the scenario where F increases to a very high value, F increases to a very high value. Look here, I have used here 3 arrows. Then definitely with the high in the frequency, XC will decrease to a very low value. XC बहुत कम हो जाएगा, XL बहुत ज़्यादा हो जाएगा. And due to that, if I find the value of X, which is nothing but XL minus XC, XC जो है वो इंफिनिटी से बहुत कम पे आ गया, XL जो है वो 0 से बहुत हाई पे चले गए. इट मीन्स देयर डिफरेंस विल डिक्रीज एंड आई विल से दैट X वैल्यू विल फर्दर डिक्रीज. अगर आपकी X वैल्यू डिक्रीज कर जाएगी, देन कैन आई से Z वैल्यू विल आल्सो डिक्रीज. इफ Z वैल्यू विल डिक्रीज, कैन आई से माय I वैल्यू विल, which is equal to V by Z, I value will further decrease. Now in this case I value increase कर जाएगी, I value increase कर जाएगी, right? Because you are now moving towards the रेजोनेंस की तरफ जा रहे हैं. ये डिफरेंस आपका 0 की तरफ जा रहा है. पहले ये डिफरेंस F इक्वल टू 0 पे इंफिनिटी था. इफ आई टेक दिस डिफरेंस X at F इक्वल टू इंफिनिटी, it was X equal to infinity, whereas at F equal to small frequency, अगर मैं यूज करता हूँ small frequency, this X was large, X की वैल्यू ज़्यादा थी. But at high frequencies, what is going to happen? At F equal to high frequency पे XC आपका कम हो गया, XL आपका बढ़ गया, then definitely उनका डिफरेंस क्या हो गया? स्मॉल. X becomes small. अगर X स्मॉल हो गया तो इट मीन्स जो Z था आपका वो भी कम हो गया, बिकॉज Z इज इक्वल टू क्या था हमारे पास? Z इज इक्वल टू अंडर रूट ऑफ आर स्क्वेयर प्लस एक्स स्क्वेयर था. इट मीन्स X स्मॉल हो रहा है, R तो कांस्टेंट है, X स्मॉल हो गया, Z कम हो गया. इट मीन्स I अब आपका जो है वो Z के कम होने से इंक्रीज कर रहा है. बट नाउ इफ आई फाइंड द वैल्यू ऑफ VC विच इज इक्वल टू I इंटू XC, I आपका नो डाउट इंक्रीज हुआ है, बट इफ आई लुक हियर द वैल्यू ऑफ XC एट हाई फ्रीक्वेंसीज, द XC वैल्यू हैज डिक्रीज्ड अ लॉट. XC की वैल्यू जो है वो काफी ज्यादा डिक्रीज हुई है. मैंने यहाँ पे 3 एरो से शो किया था, लेकिन I को मैं सिर्फ 1 एरो से इंक्रीज कर रहा हूँ. इट मीन्स द डिक्रीज इन द XC इज वेरी लार्ज इन कंपेरिजन टू द इंक्रीज इन I. ड्यू टू दैट द वोल्टेज विल ऑल्सो डिक्रीज. It means the voltage across the capacitor will start decreasing from this point and it will reaches to a very low value or equal to 0. So this you will find a curve like this. Now in the second scenario, if I take the case of XL, okay, see here at ये समझ में आ गया? Did you get this graph of voltage across the capacitor? This is VC. That how this graph has increased from the value V and it has then decreased to a value 0. Now second, if I take the case of an inductor, यहीं पे मैं एक्सप्लेन करता हूं. At F equal to 0, the XL value is equal to 0. XL 0 था. अगर XL 0 है, then definitely the value of VL, which is equal to I into XL, will be equal to 0. It means at exactly F equal to 0, this will be my point for the XL graph. As I have increased the frequency, definitely XL has increased. XL थोड़ा सा increase हुआ है, only one arrow change is there. It means with the increase in the frequency, my XL is increased. Now if XL is increased, we have seen here that I is also increased. So definitely VL, which is equal to I into XL, XL भी increase हुआ है, I भी increase हुआ है. It means VL will also increase and you will find that this curve will start increasing from here. इस तरह से increase होता जाएगा and it reaches to a maximum value which is again equal to the voltage across the capacitor. तो यहाँ पर भी हमारे पास वही वैल्यू आती है, बट एट अ डिफरेंट कट ऑफ फ्रीक्वेंसी, वो एक डिफरेंट फ्रीक्वेंसी पे आएगी. सो आई विल नेम दिस फ्रीक्वेंसी एज FL because it is corresponding to the inductor. Now look here, what is going to happen when I am going to increase to a very high frequency? जब फ्रीक्वेंसी बहुत ज़्यादा हो जाएगी, XL value will be increased to a very high value. Due to that, the I value will also increase to a very high value. I वैल्यू बहुत ज़्यादा होगी आपकी, इंक्रीज हो गई. XL बहुत ज़्यादा है, then definitely VL which is equal to I into XL, that has also XL is also increased, I is also increased. it means now VL has increased to a very high value. So this is that point जहां पर ये बहुत high value पे चले गया, and this value is also greater than your source voltage. So look here, this is my source voltage. If I draw this or extend it, so I have reached to this value greater than to this value V. Now what is going to happen if I increase, or if I take the scenario f equal to infinity, where f has reached to infinity? What will happen? At f equal to infinity, my xc will be equal to 0, xl will be infinity, and if I talk again about the concept of x, which is the difference of this xl minus xc, so can I say that this is also equal to infinity in this case? And if it is infinity, z will be equal to infinity, and again I will be equal to 0. I क्या हो जाएगा आपका 0 हो जाएगा. It means at a after a very high frequency, till the frequency equal to infinity, my current will start decreasing and it will reduce to 0. It means इस point के बाद हमारे पास ये वैल्यू जो है करंट की डिक्रीज करना स्टार्ट कर देगी और एक 0 वैल्यू पे पहुंच जाएगी एट इन्फिनाइट फ्रीक्वेंसी पे. It means that if I talk about this VL, or the voltage across this inductor, it will be equal to I into XL. No doubt at f equal to infinity, my XL has increased to infinity, but my I has reduced to 0. It means the overall value will come out to be equal to 0. So if I talk in terms of my graph, we will see that after this value, it will start decreasing, and somewhere at infinity, I don't know where is infinity, somewhere at this point or maybe further, I can't draw infinity. At that point, my value will be, or this VL value will be equal to 0. So this is the curve for the VL. And if I have to talk about the cutoff frequency or the resonant frequency, I said it is that frequency where my XL is equal to XC. Look here, this is important to understand again through this graph. I said at resonance, my XL is equal to XC. If I multiply it with the current, then I will get IXL is equal to I of XC, and which is nothing but equal to VL equal to VC. So if I look at this graph, this is the point. This is the point where my VL is equal to VC. दोनों इसी पॉइंट पे इक्वल हो रहे हैं और किसी पॉइंट पे इक्वल नहीं हो रहे. It means if I take this to the frequency line, this frequency must be equal to F naught, which is my resonant frequency. Is it clear to you all now that how this voltage across the capacitor or the voltage across the inductor is obtained in terms of this graph?
Yes, sir.
Right. So if I take it further to these frequencies FC और FL, ये कैसे find out की जाती है? I will also give you an idea about that. To calculate FC and FL. Why I'm telling you all these things? Because you being the electronic students, these questions are all related to your GATE examination. तो यहाँ से हमारे पास GATE examination के questions आते हैं. You will study later network theory and all. तो वहां पर ये सब चीजें जो है आपको फिर से बताई जाएंगी. आई डोंट नो कि आपके सिलेबस में कितना है, बट आई वांट इट इज related to GATE, so I will tell you each and every formula that is required over there. So I will have here, if I talk of this FC first, तो FC के केस में VC को कंसिडर करेंगे. VC will be equal to I into XC. Now what is I? I is can be written as, it is just a minute, I can be written as V by Z, or Z can be written as R square plus XL minus XC whole square. This is the simple formula to write your I into XC. Now we can write this as in terms of omega also. So I will write here V, but its XC, it is 1 by omega C divided by under the root of R square plus XL can be written as omega L and XC as 1 by omega C whole square. So this is the formula of VC. Now in the mathematics we have studied, whenever we have to obtain the maxima, we take the derivative of that and we equate it equal to 0. So in this scenario also, we want the maximum value of this VC, or simply the maxima of this. So if I take the concept of my mathematics, I will differentiate with respect to omega, because we want it with respect to the frequency or omega, and equate it to 0, So you can differentiate it and equate to 0. After equating, I will write the formula here directly, that this Fc will be equal to 1 by 2 pi root of Lc under the root of 1 minus R square C by 2L. So this is my formula at which my voltage across the capacitor will be maximum. Right? We have studied over there. If we take the second derivative, we got it. It is maxima aega, minima aega. So it has done already that when we take the second derivative, it is coming maxima. So we have to find the maxima value. So we just took the first derivative and equate it equal to 0. Similarly, in the case of inductor, we will do the same steps, but instead of VC, we will take their VL and we will differentiate it with respect to omega and equate to 0. So over there, I will get the value of FL. It is equal to 1 by 2 pi root of LC by 2 pi root of LC under the root of 1 minus something is wrong. Wait a minute. By 2 pi root of LC under the root of, yes, something is wrong here. It is 1 divided by, I think, yes, it is 1 divided by 1 minus R square C by 12. Yes, this is the formula for the Fn. Everything will be same, just it is this part will come in the denominator for the inductor, or the frequency at which the inductor will have the maximum voltage. Right? Is it clear to you now? Now